to be a producer, you're trying to be a rapper in this game, don't let people discourage you. Stand up and do your thing.
You ain't got to live on your knees. Everything's a possibility. If you wanna be a rapper, just be. Don't let them tell you you can't be somebody. Stand up and get up now. Hold your head up, wake up now. You got to go for your dreams. HipHop saved the community.
Hey, what's happening? It's your boy Knock Rio coming live from Copacabana, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. In my studio here, CAB Studios Rio. If you're in town, come check me out. I do production work here. I do, recording here as well. It's mainly a production studio, but we can actually record as well too. If you've heard any of my songs, you know that I record here quite frequently. I also do production. So on Saturday mornings, I do a live show where I'm beat making live and all that kind of stuff. That's on TikTok and also IG. I go live on both of those places. It's at Knock Rio Beats is where you can find that. I go 11 a.m. Eastern time. So if you want to see that and get more familiar with me, that's another way that you can do that on a live basis. Just see kind of my beat making process a little bit and just enjoy, watching me work in the studio. So this show is called HipHop Save the Community. I do apologize, I don't have my shirt on with the HipHop Save the Community logo. I was rushing a little bit this morning, but you will see me wear that from time to time. But I wanted to have a show that was a little bit different. A lot of people are doing tutorials and, talking about nonsense or, things in the game. But I wanted to really have a show that talked about the good things that hip hop brings to the community, the assets that it brings to the community. A lot of that doesn't get talked about. A lot of that gets swept under the rug, and people don't know how expansive hip hop is, how it's got its tentacles all throughout the community, and how it's changing the lives of people for the better. So whenever I post that HipHop Save the Community, I get a lot of, flack for that. People say, oh no, they're responsible for dealing drugs, and they're responsible for making people take drugs and making people, do all of these terrible things, kill people and be in gangs and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like the impact that hip hop has had on the Black community is far greater than what's been attributed to us by most people. I think that traditionally hip hop has been represented as something, a sport of young Black men. But it includes women and it includes people all over the world now. Like here in Brazil, there's a huge community of rappers. A lot of them are doing trap. Some of them are doing old school hip hop. It's got a long history here too. So it's transcended beyond the United States. It's transcended into many of these other countries all over the world. And it's changing lives of the youth and giving them hope where otherwise they may not have it. So I think we should talk about those things. And I think that we should make people put respect on hip hop's name because it's done more for the community than most social groups that we have, most church groups that are out there, most governmental programs that are out there. It's done wonders for us in generational wealth building. It's done wonders for us in entrepreneurship. It's done wonders for us trying to better the lives of our families. It's just immeasurable what hip hop's done. But what sparked me this morning to actually get off my butt and do this video is they were talking about this girl, Scar Lip. She's kind of come on the scene and everybody kind of mocked her a little bit, because the song was a little aggressive. It's New York, so it's a little aggressive, and being a girl that's, in hip hop, that's, or a female in hip hop, that's not really always considered acceptable to be so aggressive. But it's New York, and that's what's going to come out. And so people will look at that and go, oh, wow, like, she's aggressive and she's putting out bad energy or whatever. But what struck me most is looking at her story and where she came from. I didn't see the full video yet. The full video that she did, I think she did it with Vlad. But I saw clips, and she was talking about her life and the things that she went through with her family in her life. And for this girl to be here now and to have a platform and to be able to do this through hip hop and rap and tell her story and still be able to come up financially and provide for herself economically, that's exactly what this show is about. There's no way in the world that this girl is supposed to survive everything that she went through and be successful. Typically, it just doesn't happen, but hip hop is what gives us the pathway to do that. So I have the theme song for this show, Hip Hop Saved the Community. That's why I wrote that song, and that's why I published it, because it's going to be part of this song. It's just explaining what I'm talking about. I talk about a man in prison can have a vision to start a record label, and then when he leaves prison, he don't have to go back. He's able, so hip hop does that for us. If you get out of prison and you got a felony, what job can you get? Most of the jobs that are out there, you're shut out, or it's going to be low paying, or it's going to be long hours. It's going to be work that maybe is not suited for you. You take what you can get instead of doing what you want to do with your life. And society tends to throw those people away and say, hey, you're just a criminal, so you don't deserve anything. But hip hop embraces those people, gives them a lane, has a game plan, and has like a revenue portal for them to subsist from. So what else is doing that? There may be some community programs to help you kind of reacclimate and things like that when you're coming out of that situation. But there's nothing like hip hop that can make you a millionaire. So by no means am I saying, that's the path that you should take. I'm not saying that that's the right path to take. What I'm saying is, at least there's a path that you can take that can put you in a situation where not only do you survive, but you subsist and you overcome, and you can put others in position to win. What else does that? There's no government program that you can point to right now today that says, for young black men, when you come out of prison, we've got a pipeline for you to become a millionaire. It don't exist. Hip hop is the only thing that does that. And not just prison, it's just individuals who are in the community just living everyday life, and they want to buy a home for their mom. They want to send their niece or nephew to college. They recognize that education is important. Hip hop's paying tuition. It's paying college tuition. It's buying first homes for mothers who never had a home, and grandmothers who never had a home of their own. These are the types of things that hip hop's doing. It's building in many, many communities. It's doing great things. So, a situation like this girl, Scarlett, I'd be wanting to see people like that win, because society tells her she's not supposed to be able to win. And I feel like hip hop is like, yes, you can. And we're going to provide you the way for you to do that. So I feel like, we got to respect hip hop for what it is. Now, people talk about hip hop being, they talk about drugs and they talk about violence. And yeah, there's a certain element of that in hip hop, but not all hip hop is that. And I don't even think we should really separate ourselves from that type of hip hop, because if those things were not going on in society, they would not be written about in the music, because the music comes after what happens in the street. So that's the thing that people don't realize. It's not the music and the artists that are putting, our kids in these positions and putting our kids in these situations that can cost them their lives and cost them their freedom. It isn't the music that's doing that. It's society that's doing that. Where can they run to? Can they run to the church? Can they run to the government and say, hey, listen, I'm in a bad situation over here, and this is not going to be good for my life. Help me, give me a leg up so I can move away, or I can start a business, or I can have, some type of employment that's going to make me happy, put me in a better place. Who do they go to and ask for that? There's no resource. So what do? They go to the studio and they find rap. And now, without the gatekeepers and being able to kind of distribute the music yourself, what can they do? They can go out and put the music out themselves. They put the music out or whatever, it becomes famous on TikTok or whatever. Maybe the content is not that great, but that's where they're coming from, and it's changing their life. And I think that like a lot of people don't like the fact that it's changing their lives. I think a lot of people are kind of jealous. And I think a lot of people are kind of angry that the person who's not supposed to make it is allowed to make it. So that's what I see. When a kid can, have a rough past, a little bit of a rough past, have some things maybe in his past that ain't so good, can come out and change his life, and then all of a sudden he's making like 30,000, a show or something. They mad because they making maybe 40,000, 50,000 a year, and this dude who everybody says wasn't supposed to make it can get that in an hour in a show. So there's a bit of a jealousy factor that's going on there too. So in this show, Hip Hop Saved the Community, we're gonna talk about it. Every time I see hip hop doing something good, I'm gonna do a show and talk about it, because I don't think that we should be putting slander on hip hop's name. Now, you can comment what you want, you can say what you want, whatever. I'll comment back, I'll interact. Maybe we'll put some of those comments on the show. But this is a show about positivity. It's not a show about negativity. Even though I might have some strong ideas about it, doesn't mean that I'm gonna always be correct. So correct me or send me things that you think are good to kind of showcase as well. Tell me some of your stories of like how hip hop has helped you. It could be helping you with your depression. It could be helping you relieve your stress. It could be something that your parents, maybe didn't want you to do or whatever, but now you're having a little success with it or whatever, and they can see the vision. So there's a lot of stories around hip hop that aren't being told, and it's not being showcased. So this is going to be the show to showcase that. So I've been going on about 10 minutes or so. I'm the kind of person like, with YouTube and all that stuff, I see a lot of people talking, and they want to have these extra long shows and want to talk to you for an hour or whatever. I don't want to talk to you for that long, because I know you don't have that attention span. You don't need to hear me rattling and talking about about this for so long. So I'm probably gonna keep mine 10, 15 minutes, and we keep it moving, because I got music to make, I got things to do. So once again, it's your boy Knock Rio, live in Copacabana. If you're in town, come and see me. We're gonna do some Brazilian barbecue. We're gonna hang out at the beach, and we'll maybe make some music, all right? So once again, Knock Rio, Hip Hop Save the Community.